Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and wait till you see this clip I'm about to show you. But first, I want to show you this from Ripple X. The XRP Ledger Apex 2024 has been announced. They're going to do it. I think they did it last year in Amsterdam, and it looks like they're going to do it again. That must be a pretty good central hub for developers. I went to Amsterdam when I was in college one time just to check it out. On the way to, on that same trip, I went to, I think, London. Seems like I hopped over to Amsterdam, and then maybe we hopped over to Ireland. I know I went to all three. Seems like that's how we did it. But anyway, that'll be June 11th through 13th in Amsterdam. I have not traveled out of the country in a while. Check this out. They had a Spaces. I'm assuming they did this yesterday or maybe today. And David Schwartz popped in the Spaces. Now, you've seen all the, for years, we've been in this digital asset space, and we see people hem and haw because there's green candles on some things, and everybody seems to go and chase all these random tokens that happen to be going up in value, whether it's a dog coin or a Luna or a this or that. And I always just laugh to myself because I'm not here for that, never have been. I've been here since 2013, and once I found Ripple and once I found XRP, I knew that this company, Ripple, was different, and I knew that there was something different about this XRP thing. And it never made sense to me from that day until today why in the world everybody kept talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because I remember not first time, but even today, you send a Bitcoin, I'm like, why am I waiting for all these confirmations? What is this? And then I sent XRP and I was like, wait a minute. This is the thing right here, not that stuff. And it's made sense ever since. None of the other stuff ever made any sense to me. And XLM made sense. It kind of works the same way. But over time, I realized that there was a much bigger thing in play with XRP. Much bigger. And I began to see what all of these people were saying, what their executives were saying, and what people involved, which people were involved, who was on their board. And I began to research all of this stuff, and I knew, the more time that passed, I knew there was something more. And so that's why I laugh. I mean, laugh is probably the wrong word, but I'm all this day-to-day stuff with all the drama that goes on around this. Like, for instance, just as an example, Chris Larson being hacked. What in the world does that have to do with the bigger picture? For all we know, that's somebody who joined Ripple and was some kind of a criminal that joined to try to get access to a wallet that Ripple was in charge of managing or something. I don't know what that could be, because they didn't use the term hack. They acted like somebody got access to it that shouldn't have had access, is the way that's not how it was phrased, but it was something like that. But anyway, my point is, I'm into the bigger picture. That's why I don't sit around and chase green candles. I'm not worried about what the latest influencer is saying about some coin that's pumping and all that stuff. That doesn't mean anything to me. This is a 1 to 200 year opportunity. And I always say this to people. If today I sold my XRP, what not digital asset, but name one asset that I could then buy where they're saying anything even in the realm of what David Schwartz says here?
one of the crazy success outcomes that I could see is like I could see a place where the United States says, look, the dollar is not going to be able to hold on to its position of dominance, but we'd rather whatever becomes the sort of next dominant settlement unit not be something controlled by Russia or China or a geopolitical rival. You could almost see them deciding that a cryptocurrency was a less bad outcome for them. And it may be that there's no geopolitical entity that's strong enough to take over the role that the United States had. And so maybe they decide on some neutral asset. I don't know. You can dream, right?
Yeah.
Folks.
Hey, Money, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Listen, this is a war. This is for all the marbles. And all this stuff that you see where people, the sentiment in the XRP community is low and all that. Folks, people are sent here to do this. People are paid to be sent here to do this, to scare people. I've been here for a long time. Ripple's never paid me a dime. I'm here because I see something and saw something in 2013, and nobody's ever been able to change my mind. And they're not going to be. I know exactly what I'm looking at. But people have been sent to this community to try to change people's minds. And they can go fly a kite because the digital asset investor knows exactly what he holds. You can talk about all you want about, this is in danger and whatever. Go fly a kite. I'm here to the end of this thing, and I'm going to see it through because I know exactly what this is. My emotions are not sweat. Maybe it's because I'm an old man now. I'm 50 years old, folks. I agree with Dan Pena.
And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
And a microsecond, like that.
I'm actually kidding about it going to zero. I think that there's a good chance that they could let Bitcoin survive because there's enough people with a lot of money behind it by now. But I do think he's right about how there's nefarious actors that were ultimately behind it. Just like I said here, Ethereum's owned by China. We've proven that. It's Chinese and everybody knows it. And all these people, it makes me sick watching it. That's why I go at them every once in a while. All these people that are trying to act like just to protect their bag or whatever, that are trying to act like this is something else, makes me sick. And I name names all the time. Now, we've seen this clip. I'll play it again because it's worth hearing.
Stable coins, when you're talking about replacing cash, when I see DTCC, Euroclear, Clearstream, it only takes one of them to flip onto natively digital, and that's trillions of assets on its own that move. So, tens of trillions, I think we could see. And bearing in mind it's 1.4 quadrillion, this is still a tiny slice of a huge market. 30 to 50 trillion, all on XRP, all trading on Artex.
Here we go, $50 trillion. 2 years from now, Ripple, Twitter will replay the session.
Yeah, we'll replay it now. So Brad Combs locked into something that I didn't catch. Listen to this.
And I'm going to play it for just about a minute and a half, and I want you to listen to this clip here because this clip is important because this is going to talk about, listen to this, XRP trade to treasuries. Now I want you to think about just how liquid we will be when you're using XRP to trade and settle treasuries. Imagine the depth of liquidity needed to get that job done.
Thank you, Marius. We'll talk more about what's missing for this stuff to really take off.
Yeah.
I want to close this round of question first with Graham about where do you see the biggest opportunity with what hasn't really arrived yet on-chain?
Yeah, I think a lot of people used to talk about fractionalization and the like, and really that's not where the most exciting areas lie. It's certainly as Jeremy was talking to, it's kind of the function of the instrument. If you're a hedge fund, you could usually hold cash or go in a money market fund, which kind of froze your liquidity overnight, but you took away from bank risk. But now you can hold a tokenized money market fund, a tokenized treasury, whatever it is, and use it pretty much in the same way as cash. So, we're hoping in January XRP versus tokenized treasuries will be traded on our venue. We've already announced that. We've worked out the transaction reporting. The regulation allows it. And really that function of an instrument completely changes what it can be used for. And if you look out, there's kind of a bit of people in the industry like to say, okay, kind of DeFi is over there and regulated assets over here. But what we like to do is look to DeFi and kind of be inspired by it and go, okay, what if you can take a tokenized security and put it into a borrowing lending platform? It starts to look like a pretty open SEC lending market. People can freely lend and borrow peer-to-peer in this manner. We're also dropping daily interest rates into people's wallets directly. So really just the functionality of the instrument completely changed.
Dropping daily interest rates into people's wallets.
The idea that you could trade treasuries with XRP is a very deep market. And if you're tokenizing everything, I couldn't be more excited about it, to be honest with you.
Sounds like derivatives to me.
XRP versus tokenized treasuries. That's how he said it. I actually went back and heard it again. That's a big moment when that comes.
A big moment indeed. Great find. Now, here's a great clip. Listen to this.
Okay. However, there's a lot of things coming just literally right round the corner. We already have Fed now. We're going to have SWIFT mandates. We're going to have SEPA Inst. There is just going to be a lot, just in the payments arena, not necessarily just the whole of FS, but in the payments arena, there's a lot that's going to start to happen. And the issue that we have there is actually when we have these dates, they always get tighter towards the end. Well, 2024 and 2025 is going to be the years we're going to have to do it. We already have 76 ISO 20022 clearings out there. However, we're now getting mandates, we're now getting industry change. As you say, it is the tipping point when next year, 2024, we're going to get busy with ISO 20022. Frankly, whether we like it or not. Restructuring of it really is very deep. Payments, I'm a payments guy, but payments is not the be-all and end-all of banking, and it's just part of it. But all the other systems that are inside of the bank need to talk to the payment system, if you will. It's the bit in the very heart of it. So those things need to change too. Otherwise, you're just putting a layer, and you could argue you're just putting lipstick on a pig, and that's not what anybody wants to do. It might be what they have to do, but it's not what they really want to do. So it is effectively anything that touches payments needs to get changed. And I think the way to fix that in many ways is to automate. And the issue that we have here is effectively the testing and the validation of an ISO project. 30 to 50% of that is just in the testing piece. Well, if we could automate that, then you're going to save yourself an awful lot of time and get those people customer facing. Unifits is saying, hey, look, we can get 80% of that testing and validation time down. So that allows you to read a lot quicker, do a lot more, but moreover, use those key skills with your customers rather than the internal battles that we all know happens with ISO 20022.
Very interesting clip there. Now, I'm going to skip this. I was going to show this. It's kind of boring to me. It's Cynthia Loomis talking about what's coming. Now, but what I do want to show you is in DAIXRP.com. This is extremely scary because I think there's one of two scary scenarios playing out. I'm going to show you both of them. It's really creepy, and it makes me sick just watching what's going on. But I'm going to show you both of the two scary scenarios. One is a lot scarier than the other. So I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. You want to see something really scary that is going on in this country? Come on, check it out, DAIXRP.com.